All right, hopefully this is a bit of a review, but we're going to write linear functions given 2 points. I'm going to write in point slope form, and I'm going to write in y-intercept form because I think both are valuable. So the first thing we have to realize is write a linear function given 2 points. The 2 points here, remember, -1 is the input, 2 is the output. So what they've given us is point -1, 2, and the point 3, -2. And remember, I just have the generic x, y over here that I can think about. So the first thing I'm going to do is calculate point slope formula. And remember, the point slope formula is y minus y1, which is some y value of a given point, and the slope times x minus x1, which is the x value of a given point. So the first thing we need to do is calculate slope. Remember, slope is the change in the output over the change in the input. You may see it as change in y over the change in x, or sometimes we say rise over run. So let's look at the y values. Just make sure we choose in the same order both times. So the y value of the first term is a 2. So let's go 2 minus a -2 over the x value in the first point, -1 minus 3. So 2 minus a -2 is the same as 2 plus 2, which is 4. 1 minus a -3 is a -4. And 4 divided by 4 is a -1. So now I know the slope. So now I can go to my point slope formula. I can pick either one of these points. I'm going to do it with both of them. So I'm going to do y minus 2 equals the slope, -1 times x minus a -1. Now I'll go ahead and do this calculation. So that's y minus 2 equals a -x. Let's see. Minus a -1 is +1, but I've got to carry through that -1. So make sure you agree with me there. Add 2 to both sides. So y equals a -x. -1 plus 2 is +1. So the nice thing about this is now I know my slope is -1 and my y-intercept is 1. So I've got in point slope form and I've got in slope-intercept form. All right, let's see if it works out with the other one. I could have done y minus a -2 equals the slope, -1 times x minus 3. So this is y plus 2 equals a -x plus 3, right? And now if I subtract 2 from both sides, I get -x plus 1, and that's a good thing. I would hope to get the same equation both times, and that's a nice check.